Alright, check it out, guys. Brother Maynard here again with another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This is the rematch, I guess you could say, for the earlier game, except this one's 4,000 points instead of 3,500. So here's my left side with my Blood Crusher Razor Gores as usual. So you got the one on the left, he's in the forest, it's a blood forest, but it doesn't end up doing anything this game. I got 5 Raiders with a Musician, another Razor Gore with a Tuskor Chariot next to him. And then I got my Bestigor Horde with my level 4 who's rocking the Lord Beasts. And then you got my Be'lakor model, and I'll just explain what he's doing here real quick. So I was painting my Be'lakor model. I'm trying to think of a way to bump my list up from 3,500 points to 4,000 points. And it occurred to me to run him as a flying Doom Bull. So a Doom Bull with the Arabian Carpet. So that's what he's doing here, and he's kind of, I think it's cool because it's kind of a throwback to the old 6th edition, the Living Idol demonic gift or whatever it was that allowed you to have a demon prince in your Beastmen army. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty themey, and anything that gets the Be'lakor model on the table is a good thing in my book. But anyway, next to that you got the Herdstone with my 3 level 1s, and then you got up front my other Tuskor Chariot next to my General's unit, which is the 40 some odd Gore with the General and the Battle Standard Bearer in there. And then I got 45 Ungors with full command, 5 Raiders with a Musician, and then a unit of 7 Minotaurs with a Standard and Musician, and there's a Gore Bull in there as well. And then you got 5 Centaurs on the far right. And I put them there as an afterthought, and you'll see why in a minute. But that's why they're in that kind of funky formation. I wasn't planning on putting them there, but and then up here on my right, so Dave's left, that big unit of all the way on the right there, that's 50 Savage Orc Biggins. So when you put that there, I threw down the Centaur unit, and yeah, I was, my plan is just to redirect them right off the table. So I don't know what Dave was thinking, if it was just, he hadn't used frenzied troops in a while, if he was just sleeping during deployment or whatever it was. But, yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. And then he's got his giant, and then a unit of, that's a horde of boys, and then he's got a unit of 6 river trolls. And then on the hill there, he's got 40 black orcs with his general, his battle standard, and his level 4. And then behind them on the hill, he's got 3 bolt throwers, a doom diver, and you can't really see him, but he's got a goblin shaman wandering around by himself back there. So, and then he's got 4 more trolls, another horde of boys, and then over here he's got the 2 boar chariots. So anyway, he gets first turn, and he just kind of moves everybody up. That structure next to the boar chariots is an altar of Cain or whatever, so it's you're frenzied if you're within 6 inches of it. And then his unit of the unit of boys up there ended up failing their animosity test, which I thought was pretty funny because the wood that they're in is the one that does damage to you if you don't move, or if you're still in it at the end of the movement phase. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then you got and then he just kind of moves up with everything. So. His magic phase and his shooting was pretty uneventful. I think I don't think he got anything through, to be honest with you. So that takes us to my first turn, and boy, what a start. Okay, so I move the Razor Gore up to kind of threaten the chariots, but I keep them in the woods for obvious reasons. And then I bring the Ungors and the other Razor Gore up to kind of redirect the trolls and get in the way or whatever. And, I put the Doom Bull there to kind of take advantage of any flank charges that might present themselves. But yeah, looking at this picture, you can see how inconceivably stupid that was. Like, what was I thinking? I don't know. So yeah, he's about to get 2 chariots in the face. Okay, and then for the rest of my movement, I just kind of move everybody up a little bit, just kind of shuffle forward. And then on the right here, I bring the Minotaurs up, and then the Centaurs, I bring them up as far as they can go, and I don't have enough movement to, reform or change the formation and spread them out. So I just move them up here and angle them off the board for obvious reasons. And then I bring the raiders up to kind of do the same thing. Just really it's a fail safe against the minotaurs. Because by them being there, it makes it very difficult for, my minotaurs can't really charge any of these units, and if you can't legally charge the unit, you don't have to test for frenzy. So that's really what the raiders are doing there. Because I think the minotaurs were right at the edge of their charge range, so I had to test for the savage orcs, and thank God I didn't make it. So I just decided to keep raiders in front of them in the future to protect against that. So, all right. Anyway, so magic phase. I miasma down the savage orcs movement by 2, just to really make sure that he can't maneuver that unit anywhere. Oh yeah. So here it is. 2 chariots into the doom bowl. So, and then his trolls charged the Razorgore, who I fled with the Razorgore, and so he just redirected into the raiders. So that's what's going on there. And here's just kind of an overview of same thing, just a bigger picture. You can see there's a couple wounds missing on the Tuskor chariot. I think that might have happened courtesy of a bolt thrower. So anyway, so he just kind of moves everybody out. Everybody just keeps moving up. He's really in a hurry to get into combat. I'm not so much in a hurry because he's got the trolls up there, so they're kind of making me nervous. So, all right, over here, his giant charges the raiders, who they fail their terror test, and the giant catches them, and now he's into the minotaurs, which I think I'm pretty okay with that. I've never fought against a giant before, but I think I'm okay with it. And then he passes his frenzy check for his savage orcs, so they don't have to charge. So that's good. Yeah. So over here in combat, oh man, yeah. The chariots end up doing a couple wounds to the Doom Bull with their impact hits. He smashes one of them to splinters, and then loses combat by 1 because they charged and got him in the flank. And the remaining chariot. The Doom Bull broke, and the remaining chariot ran him down. So, yeah, how anticlimactic is that? And then, of course, the trolls easily destroy the skirmishers and reform. And then over here, the giant ends up thumping one of the minotaurs with his club, and I do 4 wounds back and win the combat by a pretty good margin. But the giant's stubborn, I guess. So. Yeah. Okay, so over here, the chance of a combo charge of the chariot, the trolls, and the black orcs into my best scores is pretty. It's a pretty real possibility. So I just move like so to just kind of block. Just kind of keep that from happening. And then the same idea up here. I just kind of move this chariot up to kind of block those trolls. Which, to be completely honest, I don't know why I didn't just charge it. Maybe I was thinking, that they would kill it. I don't know. I'm just moving it up to block. That's what I'm doing. Okay, and then I ambushed this unit of 30 gores or so, and this is where they decided to come on. So that was nice of them. And then I ambushed 2 more units of raiders, and this unit popped up right here on the War Machine Hill, and you really can't ask for anything better than that, so I thought that was great. Magic phase, the only thing I was able to get through was a miasma on the black orcs, just as a fail, just as insurance if they decide to charge the best scores. Shooting phase was nice. These 5 raiders end up shooting his shaman up here. Alright, so his charges, he takes the charges into the Razorgore and his chariot into my chariot. So, yeah, I just, want to keep them off of my best scores for the time being. And, yeah, I think his, this unit of boys, they either move up or they fail animosity and move or something like that. I don't know what's going on. This unit of trolls charges, and actually his black orcs charged the bestigors but failed. as well. And then the trolls charged the chariot, made it, and then those boys up there also charged my general's unit, failed. So, and then over here, he took his test to restrain his savage orcs from charging the Synagors, and failed. And so they charged the Synagors, and so there's no point, or there's no place for them to go except off the table. So I'm very happy with that. And then also in this turn, his level 4 gets sucked into the warp and takes a bunch of black orcs with him. So really, this turn couldn't have gotten much worse for him. He lost his level 4, failed a bunch of charges. His savage orcs were are about to go off the board. Yeah, so pretty rough turn for Dave.